Is your business running out of cash? Are there any real estate investment opportunities in this down economy? Let's talk funding your business during this COVID 19 crisis with our guest, Edward Felder Jr., next on The Brink.
You're joining a group of entrepreneurs, brand makers, business owners, decision makers, power brokers, and risk takers, where we discuss business and marketing issues with insightful solutions. This is The Brink with your hosts Russell Sales and George Cartwright, reminding you that your business is either on the brink of extinction or distinction. Welcome. Yo,
G.
what's up, man?
What's going on, my brother?
It's all you.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Glad you guys can join us during this lunchtime for The Brink. We got a special guest joining us today, Ed Felder Jr., where we're ready to talk some funding. A lot of folks having a lot of cash flow issues and challenges, and we're going to get some insight today. He's also known as your Robinhood of banking and the funding guy. So Ed Felder Jr., are you with us?
What's going on?
There he is.
It's good to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you, my brother. Good to have you and see you as well. So, and tell the folks where you are, Ed.
I'm outside actually Atlanta right now, man. I'm hiding out, bouncing my head off the ceilings, man. I need to get out. I need to be with my people. No, seriously, I have a tour called Buy Back the Neighborhood where I'm typically in 8 cities per month doing live presentations. So I'm like literally dying over here, man. I'm walking out just pitching people on the streets, man. I'm pitching birds. I'm pitching animals. Somebody take advantage of these opportunities, right?
Wow.
Like, so listen, man, opportunity is abound, man. I tell people all the time, opportunity is hiding in plain sight. That's it. So today, while there's chaos and confusion and mayhem, what we're going to focus on today is how do you execute, take action, and live your dream amongst all of this mayhem and mess. There's opportunity, more opportunity than you ever believed you were entitled to. So that's what we're about today.
Absolutely. And we're going to jump right into that, Ed. That's good stuff. Let's backpedal just a half a second and let the folks know a little bit about your background and how you even arrived at being able to recognize all the opportunities that exist in real estate and in other areas of business.
Listen, man, I'm a small guy from I'm gonna hit you with this here, right? This is not Wakanda, man. That is the Bronx, for the South Bronx, baby.
Oh, that's
so I'm born and raised in New York, in New York City. Yeah. And from the time I was 13 years old, I told my guidance counselor, I told the principal and my mother, I got them all in the room, and I told them, listen, I am not going to high school, right? That's for the birds. Watch this.
Wow.
There was an earth, like everywhere I looked, I would go on top of my roof, I would see Manhattan. I would see the George Washington Bridge. I would see skyscrapers, right? And all I saw was amazing opportunity as I looked afar, right in front of me, right next door. Abandoned buildings, 6-story, 10-story, all nothing but bricks in around, all fire and brimstone. Like that was my life. And I had a dream of saving my community. Like, I guess you guys have heard before. What was the saying? The Bronx is on fire. Literally, my street was on fire. Wow. And so every night, I slept with Black Enterprise underneath my pillow. My dream was to be on the cover of Black Enterprise. When I told my mother, my counselor, right, and the principal I wasn't going to high school, I told him I didn't want to go to high school. I did not want to go to college. I didn't want to go to grad school. I wanted to go to Columbia University, Ivy League school. I had an urgency to save my community, just like today. So fast forward 20 years, I've eventually became a banker. I've funded almost upward of $1 billion in small business loans in real estate, hotels, shopping centers, apartment complexes. They messed up when they brought me into banking. Now I'm giving back. I'm showing them all of the insider tips that no one ever taught us. No matter how financially astute we are, many things no one ever taught us, and I want to reveal it to your audience today.
We appreciate it. We certainly appreciate that. All right. So as you, what are some of the first things that we need to jump right
that's
into?
where we are right now.
Okay.
So let's fire away any questions you guys may have. Let's do this.
Okay, we'll do. For some reason, your audio for George isn't there yet, so I'll repeat his questions.
Okay, great.
Let's jump right into it. What are some of the things well, let's start with first things first. There's some businesses that are currently hemorrhaging, and they want to avail themselves of this money coming from the government, the PPP money. And some of them are saying the banks aren't loaning, they're not giving it, they're taking them through the hoops when they shouldn't be, according to the federal government. You have any insight on what they could be doing right now? Small shops, small town USA.
Listen, man. So the great thing about this here, the government has come out and said, listen, the PPP is the Payroll Protection Program, right?
Mhm.
And so 2 programs came out as a result of this, the CARES Act, right? It's the
Right.
COVID, Relief Act, right? So Relief and Security Act. Security is supposed to secure us, but everyone is not covered. Covered. I'm not a preacher, but we're not covered underneath his wings, right?
Gotcha.
So initially it came on the 3rd. Most small businesses were able to apply online, boom, and get funded in short order. Okay, and then that's with payroll. Those were companies under 500 employees, and they took a percentage of your payroll. So 2.5 times your payroll, they would give you 2 months of that. So say for example, if your payroll was $10,000 a month, 2 employees or whatever, and you kept records, and you kept records. Most of us don't keep records, right?
Right.
So if our payroll
Absolutely.
was $10,000, right? 10,000 for 1 month, 10,000 for the next, 5,000. So basically, but $25,000 they slot in your account under Payroll Protection Act, right? So that keep going, right? Unfortunately, small businesses who are, let's say, 1 employees, gig employees, etc., Uber drivers, small contractors, self-employed, solo employed, they were not able to apply until last week, until the 10th. So good luck getting those funds. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, right? Because not only while you waiting for those funds right now, there's also, if you're a small employer, you can apply right now. If you're a gig employer, you can apply for unemployment. There's a new thing out there. So prior to last week, if you were a small employee or self-employed, you could not apply for unemployment. You can apply right now.
So what's the limit in terms of employees? Is that no employees? You're just working for yourself, a gig company or a hustler?
So listen, for most of those small people, so the vast majority of people who have payroll, a documented payroll, right?
Right.
Documented payroll, so you can go back and do what's called a 941 to show that you had income, you were paying people, right? So most of that is on the PPP. Then there's another one is an Emergency Relief Act, okay, that you have to go directly to the SBA and apply on the SBA site. The other one, the PPP, you have to go directly to a lender. Most of those large lenders said, listen, we're not funding anything under $100,000. We can't help you. And if you're not an existing client, we can't help you, right? And right, so it's a bunch of ands, and but after day one, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, a lot of those guys decided not to facilitate any more loans. But the great thing about it, many other small lenders or non-bank lenders stepped in. For example, PayPal now is doing it. Intuit now is doing it. So you have a lot of non-traditional lenders who are allowing you to apply for the PPP, which is a great thing.
That's awesome.
For many people, gig people like us, small people, what you can also do is apply for up to $10,000 grant, which is sweet. So they don't ask you too much information. So you put your information, you go to the SBA website, you can get that $10,000. How sweet is that, gentlemen?
That's awesome. Real sweet. It's good stuff. And so you have folks now being able to bridge the gap with the information you shared there, but you have others who might be hungry and knowing that in every market, whether it's good or bad, there's deals to be made, but more deals will be made in a down market. let's jump right into that. What deals should people be looking for that are just right for them, right for the pickings, right in front of their eyes that they probably can't even see it? It's so
close to
available.
Yeah.
So, Russell, one thing we talked about before you got started was opportunity is hiding in plain sight, right?
Exactly.
Everywhere you look, there's opportunities. For example, I have a dentist, right? Her sales are down 95%, right? Ridiculous. I
Yeah.
have a restaurant down 90%, right? I
Yeah.
have several other clients, sales are down 100%. What do? Listen, opportunity hiding in plain sight. Like if I was that person, I would apply for my little buddy money right now, right? Or to be thinking about how do I take my business online? So in the event this happened again, I would not be isolated from my customers. That's the first thing,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
I would not be. You should be making phone calls to your customers right now saying, hey, we're still selling online, whether it's pies, cakes from the home. Hey, I'll drop it off in my car. Like, listen, do not let that money go away. So that's the second thing, right?
Yep.
So we ought to be going from brick and mortar to online to have a two-pronged approach to making money. The third thing we should be doing is trying to look at opportunities in front of us. I have so many clients right now who are willing to like take my business, right? And you, as being somewhat savvy, say, hey, I can raise money, right? You may not have it in your bank account. You may have it in a 401k. Now, because of this new law, you can now take the money from your 401k out
You're not
without
penalized for
penalty.
it. Yep.
So those are great things. Or you can find somebody who has cash. I'm from New York, as I said. So with cream, cash rules everything around me. Get the money. What? Dollar bill, y'all, right? So listen, like, so when I'm telling people right now, expand. You could think small. I mean, I'm not a big Donald Trump fan, but one thing I do like that he said years ago was like, if you're going to be thinking anyway, right? You might as well think big, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. And I say, wake up and dream. Many of us right now are in a nightmare, right? And so we can hide our head in the sand and cry, or we can get up and look for opportunity. Hey, something simple. I would go on Craigslist, looking to buy businesses in the local market. Who's interested in selling? And you sit back and see who wants to sell right now. I could take over your debt right now. If you have a few dollars, I mean, I have a guy right now who's getting the contract at the city government. He's getting ready to buy a bunch of masks from China. He's getting ready to make a king's ransom, right?
Wow.
Medical supply, right? People are contracting, building different things, retrofit. Like there's opportunity out there, right? More opportunity than we ever saw before. It's right there.
What do you say to someone who's ready to, take advantage of the opportunities? We look in, the statistics that keep coming out every day, say in the restaurant business, and they're down, they're laying people off left and right, and they're thinking, okay, I can probably get in and get a good deal, but I don't want to fall into a business that's going to fail as well. What will I do differently than the current? I'll be in the same situation as the current owners. What do you say to someone who is reserved about moving on deals like that?
I'm gonna go back to New York again, man. I'm going back to what you say in the streets. Can we take it to the streets?
Take it to the streets, bro.
So we say scared money don't make any money. That's the first thing, right? So we could be savvy in business, or we could be sad, right? Yeah. So what I'm telling you right now is set up all your ducks right now. Like who needs to be out? Who needs a partnership? Like I have one client right now who is a former intern. His wife graduated from medical school, and what he did over the last 8 years was he bought 40 dental practices in one city. How sweet is that?
Can you repeat that again? People in that.
I have one client. 40 dental practices. So only thing he did was he looked at a model. Okay. And George, you'll notice you're an online person. You're an online marketer, right? He looked at his economies of scales. The average dental practice, if it's run efficiently should be 1.2, 1.3. So this guy went out and was like, okay, I can buy most of these practices are run haphazardly, right? Non-professional. So they were only doing 600, 700,000. He knew if he put the brackets in place, right, that he can increase sales within 2 years by over $600,000, right? So he'll offer them a lowball offer and then bring them back on as an employee. So he went from that. So now instead of when his Facebook ads, right? Now instead of advertising for a single location, he's advertising for 40. Now he's getting the best locations and he's getting the best rates. Like I would not be making my move right now. I'll wait a week or 2 weeks as people get really hurt. You know, like back in the days, we say London Bridge is falling down. Like
Right.
everyone is not going to be your ideal person, but now is a great time to do what I call joint venturing. Like who can we partner with?
Yeah.
Who can we leverage our expertise with? And that's what we should be looking at.
Definitely.
Cool.
George, did you have something?
Yeah, I don't know if he can hear me yet. Can you hear me yet, Ed? You can hear me? Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. So, what then how do they approach it? How do they evaluate what is a good deal and what is not a good deal? What is a business that I should be looking at or not? You know, like what is my LTV or, you know, what is the evaluation process for them?
So historically, when looking at a business, you want to look at, okay, what type of cash flow were they making before? Okay, so does it make financial sense? So say, for example, you were going out to Big Mama. Big Mama can I have $1,000, $5,000, or $10, or $10, right?
Right.
What Big Mama going to say? Big Mama is going to say, how am I going to get my money
I'm gonna
back?
get my money back.
Baby, how am I going to get my money back? So we should be prepared, right? I have a book I wrote. It's called 7 Insider Tips to Financing Any Small Biz, right? And we talk about a lot of us we're like the guy from Jay Wellington, the guy from Popeye the Sailor Man. Remember that guy? I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for what? For a hamburger today.
Right.
That hustle was 35 years ongoing. He never came back in on a Tuesday, right?
Right.
And that's how most people look, right? We don't show good numbers, and we never come back and, everything to us looks like smoke and mirrors, right?
Yeah.
So what did the numbers say? Understand what numbers are, finding a good accountant, or understanding, how do I get in this deal? How do I get out? And it's a cash positive. A lot of times, it's always, I was telling someone the other day, your cash return could show a negative $1 million, right? And you're going to say, what? Oh, I don't want that business, right? But what if I tell you that the owner's compensation was $2 million? Right?
Right.
So what do the numbers make sense? Why do the numbers make that type of sense? I had a hotel once, George, where a guy was selling the business for 3 straight years. He did $3 million. It was kicking butt, right? Like this guy was tripping over himself to buy this business, right? And I said, pause for a second. It's doing really phenomenal numbers. No one else in town is doing this, right? For Rinky Dink Hotel. Let's understand how it makes money and when it gets paid. Watch this. How it gets money and how it get paid. And it should be a value add. I should be able to go from 3 million to 5 million, right? So this is what happened. We looked at it and he had a government contract with the military. The military contract was going away. So he was going to go from $3 million for 5 straight years down to about $500,000.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how do I make money? Right?
Right.
And how often do I make that money? If you can understand the dollar cycle, don't get excited about the bottom line. If you can understand the dollar cycle, we should win. Every business you buy right now should be a value add. Yeah, it's doing 5 million. It may be doing 500,000, but what I'm going to incorporate, it may be doing 1.5 within a year. So what are the things we can add to add profit centers? So those are just some of the things we kind of look at, though.
Should they focus on businesses that they know well, or should they just be looking for good deals?
I would say something, unless you have a professional team together, I would look at businesses that you know well, that you have a passion for, and then trending. I'm a proponent of going online. Like I am never a proponent to put all of my eggs in one basket, right? There was a study 2 years ago that said 80 million people will be out of work because of AI, artificial intelligence, and automation, right? That was just 2 years that study came out, right? And think about 2025. Like literally that study, now we said 2025, it should have been like 2020, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right? So listen.
Yeah.
So it's great to have that brick and mortar, but what do you have in the back office operations? If we can monetize our expertise, we should win, right? Like I tell people all the time, George, like what was the great thing between Amazon and everybody else? Amazon mastered what? They mastered Google. That's all they did.
That's it.
They mastered Google.
Yeah.
And every time you put in your book, everyone's raced right to Amazon. They were able to get there more efficiently and faster than the publisher themselves. How crazy is that?
That's crazy.
And we can still follow that same formula today, whether it's an accounting firm, whether it's a daycare center, whatever we can do. We have to get people to know us, like us, love us, and do business. And the business has got a cash flow. Makes financial sense.
That's right. So, and this is the time that we will tell people that in order for people to know you, one of the most important things is for you to have your digital business life in order, your digital doorway. That needs to be in order. People need to be able to find you online. Your customers that are looking for you or a business that you are thinking about buying, those people need to be able to find that business. So in their evaluation process, what do they need to look at for business that they can move online? How do they evaluate that? Do they need to, like, what are some of those steps that they need to do to evaluate the business as they look at it? And then, is this business online? Can I find it? And some of those kind of things. And
so something with me is I have a client right now who specializes in he's a manufacturer, right? Mm-hmm. So the vast majority of his business was manufacturing parts and distribution, right? Until we walked into the door and said he's doing good numbers, but we could see where he could double revenue by going online, right? You can reach a worldwide audience for your parts that you are the sole manufacturing distributor to, right?
Right.
So now, again, that's the value added opportunity. I, as someone looking to buy that business, would do it because, listen, I can get online for pennies on a dollar. Now I can reach a detail specific. You can spray or you can be laser focused.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Laser focused. So I think that's important as well. How you run your numbers and figure out how can you reach my people. You don't need everybody. You just need the right people. Mm-hmm. So how can you strategically reach that other additional clients to get them to know you and like you? And so whether it's online marketing, whether it's social media, whether it's LinkedIn, having a strategic plan. Man, I got to tell you, we've made more money than ever just playing on LinkedIn. So It's one thing about fishing in your backyard, right, and a pond in the backyard versus fishing in the ocean. Yeah. Facebook is the pond in the backyard, like with the little toad.
Yeah.
Right, swimming with the sharks is LinkedIn, right? I'm going DC fishing, baby.
That's where
the keys out there. Let's eat, right?
Yeah, that's where the business people are over there at LinkedIn. That's where they are. Absolutely. So,
no risk, no reward.
Exactly. Exactly. Sure. So I think the biggest thing right now, well, a lot of lenders are no longer lending. For example, one of my specialties is commercial real estate, residential real estate, rental financing, etc. I would say 90% of those lenders are no longer lending.
Okay.
But I have some who are actually doing like the most ridiculous type deals. I have one lender. He's doing, believe it or not, he's doing 80% finance, and he'll refinance any investment property that you have, whether it's a 1 unit, 4 unit, 10 unit, 20 unit, right?
Okay.
He'll do it with just 2-month bank statements.
Wow.
And a 600 credit score.
Yeah. With the 600 credit score.
600 credit score. Watch this. 600 credit score. 2-month bank statements and 600 credit score. I did one where someone's going bankrupt and we added someone else with decent credit and he still refinanced in a different LLC.
Okay.
Like, listen, guys, and I'm telling these guys, get liquid because these opportunities are jumping out, right? So you cannot be sitting on 4 or 5 properties with money and then the only thing that's happening is your property value, I owe it free and clear, but your property value is declining day by day.
Yeah.
Refinance now, getting liquid because watch this, in about 30 days, you're going to have people running you, gifting you houses. Hey man, I don't want anything for your property. Just take over my mortgage. Please take it. I made an offer for a 4 unit today. No lie, guys. Not too far from Clearwater Beach for about $65,000.
Wow.
All day is worth $265.
Yeah.
Like, I'm stealing from them, and he was happy
to give it to
me. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even give him money. I said, let me just take up your hands, right? That's what's happening in this market today. And even if you don't have to have the money, right? We teach them in a lot of our books. We teach you principles on, and we have one called "Let Them Eat Cake." We have another one called, "The Art of the Flip," where we teach you how to find, figure out, and finance your dream business or piece of real estate, right?
Right.
And they're right there, right now, just waiting for you just to pick them up. Listen, you guys would not believe the opportunities out there right now. So listen.
Okay.
We definitely got to have you back, Ed.
Yeah, we got to have you back because there's some things that you mentioned your LLC, and so we need to talk about that. Like, how do you set up your LLC to invest in real estate and business financing? How do you build business credit? Like, you have some gold nuggets. Okay, so do this for us. Tell us the books that we should be reading. Your 2 books. Let Them Eat Cake, where can they get that? The Funding Guide, where can they get that? Is there any training that you have or that they can get from you? How do they get your knowledge at this particular point where we are at home and we're hungry and you're not out doing seminars traveling across the country? So
hey, listen, this is a great time to get me, man. So believe it or not, we have one book. We think it's called the Bible of Real Estate Investing.
Okay.
It's called The Art of the Flip.
Yeah.
Right. If you ever thought about buying real estate, now is the most amazing time ever. Right. So you can find that book, Let Them Eat Cake. You can even find a devotional called Give Us This Day, the devotional for entrepreneurs, a toolkit for overcomers. There anybody know any entrepreneurs who's hurting today, who needs some inspiration, a little prayer?
Absolutely.
So those books can all be found on our website, which is thefundingguy.com. thefundingguy.com. Is that okay, guys?
That's wonderful. That's awesome. Appreciate you for sharing those nuggets, and everyone, take advantage of the time that we're in. Ed is saying very similar things, but with greater clarity and detail and resources for you that we've been sharing since we started the Brink. And so I'm grateful to have you on to share that. And we got to have you back as well. And I look forward to hearing some testimonies from folks who are taking you up on your word, on your offer.
Absolutely. What does it take for them to, they can reach you? What is your email address? Is it info@thefundingguide.com or?
Actually, info@thefundingguide.com.
Okay.
And actually, if they want to text me a question, you can do so at 813-245-3293. And if you have a question, we can text you back. If you're more serious, if you're looking for opportunities, you have a little cash, or if you know of an amazing opportunity, give us a call. We would love to joint venture a partner. Again, you don't need the cash. All you have to do is find the opportunity, and we would love to joint venture with you. Listen, you could joint venture or you could just complain. In this market, I say live your dream. No more complaining.
All right, give me the number one more time. We're going to put it up on the screen. 813-245.
813-245-3293. Just text me. Let me know that you guys they came from your show, and we'll offer them a special discount on our services. How about that?
Sounds good. We appreciate that, guys. You have to take advantage of that. Eddie, we appreciate you. We love you. We're going to have you back. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us today. Thank you so much. All right, Russ. Man.
Good stuff, my man.
Woo, I ate today. Good. This was good information. Yeah, it's a lot, but we certainly have to have him back. So You all need to go to thefundingguy.com to get his book, The Art of the Flip, and Let Them Eat Cake, a business devotional for entrepreneurs. This is the time, again, to get your digital life in order. And obviously, if you get your spiritual life in order as well, or get your spiritual life in order first and then get your digital life in order, flip it. That would be awesome. And we also have a resource for them as well. Russ, what can they do?
They can go to onthebrinkmarketinggroup.com /snapshot and receive our free snapshot report, 360-degree view into how your business is doing online. So we're definitely trying to do our part in helping businesses not just weather the storm, but to excel during this period of renewal. That's how perspective is everything. And sometimes a fire comes through a forest and cleans out and allows for new growth. So be a part of that new growth by assessing where your business is currently online and starting to make the necessary adjustments to get where you need to be. So
absolutely.
That's what we got. And we also are giving away a consultation with George and myself on your business and helping to provide some strategies as you move your business either in part or in whole to an online venue.
Meet Jen. Jen's a business owner trying to make it in the digital age. She knows the internet is vital to the success of her business, but her company is hard to find online. She doesn't know when she gets new reviews. And despite her best efforts, Jen isn't doing so hot on social media. Jen needs a way to manage her online reputation. She needs to conquer digital. For Jen to grow her business, she needs to be found online. Search engines, directories, social media, there's so much to do. It's no wonder Jen is overwhelmed. That's where we come in. We have the complete digital solution to help any business owner. With our help, Jen can master her online presence. She can find out where her business appears online and make sure those listings are accurate. She'll see what her customers are saying and can respond quickly and easily. Jen will get alerts on any device every time there's a new review, and she can request feedback in ways that work best for her customers. Then, she can share those reviews to amplify positive word of mouth. She'll know anytime her business is mentioned, even in the nooks and crannies of the internet. Plus, Jen can keep an eye on her competition. So now Jen is happy. Why? Because search engines can find her, which means customers can too. Engagement is up and new business is flooding in, all while Jen is climbing Google's search results. It's brand management done right.
All right, Russ, what we got coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, you don't want to miss it. We're talking about, yesterday we dealt with mental health. Today we looked at financial health, if you will. And tomorrow we'll be looking at some physical and nutritional health with our guest, Becky S. I'm not going to mispronounce her last name, so we'll call her Becky S. And she is an expert in nutrition and going to join us in health and wellness. And she's doing amazing things with her digital products as well. So someone that you want to emulate. So in order to be the leader that you see yourself being, you got to be a complete person. And that's not just one aspect of your life, win on every aspect. So we're giving you the tools that we have and the resources that's available to us. We're sharing those with you. So definitely set your clocks. Join us again for lunch tomorrow with George and I on the Brink. See ya.